Yeah, I'm literally speechless. Like, I'm blown away.
Two builders. One Web3 protocol. One blind date. 1 week to build something impressive. This is Builder Blind Dates.
All right, hello everyone. I'm Dapper Dan, and who do I have with me here?
My name is Yinka at Juniors Yinka on Twitter, a developer relations engineer. What's up? How's it going?
Good. So this is the first episode and our first try at what we're calling Builder Blind Dates. So two builders
Let's go.
enter, one protocol, Web3 project, something. We're gonna build with some tool, and we're gonna leave it up to the fate of the gods or the spinning wheel. So
The spinning wheel.
yes. So basically, what we're gonna do, once we get this random protocol, we're gonna take a week. We're gonna go through the docs, and we're gonna try to build something useful or like cool. We're gonna come back. We're gonna show each other, and yeah, just talk about our experience as devs with working with that protocol. So, Olayinka, are you ready for spinning the wheel?
I am. I do have a preference. But yes, I am ready for spinning the wheel. Let's see.
So this is a blind date. So this is completely up to fate. This is not. It's nice if you have preferences.
100%.
And what would you say? Like, what do you look for in a protocol? What would make you excited about working with something?
For one, really good documentation, hands off. Secondly is a community around that protocol and ensuring that development is actually happening and, things haven't been abandoned because there's a bear market. So yes, really good documentation and having a functional community around them definitely helps. How about you? I'm curious. I mean, you are the master of technical documentation. So,
thank you. Thank you.
It would be interesting to know what you actually do look for in a protocol.
Lately I've been like, sounds gonna sound weird, but lately I've been looking for a little bit of spice, a little bit of new. So like, I know a lot of devs that it's gotta be Solidity, it's gotta be TypeScript or something I already know. But I'm a really big fan of like kind of not learning a whole new programming languages because I think, but like if they're based on something I already know, TypeScript, Rust, something like that, I'm really excited to kind of dive in and then like build something so that I could feel like I learned something from that. So that's my jam lately, at least, is to explore, get out there a little bit more. So let's see what we got to offer here. So we got zero dev on the wheel. I think that they do account abstraction. Tyco, you know about them. I have no idea. What does Tyco?
There's ZK EVM, an Ethereum equivalent ZK EVM. So really trying to solve the scalability issues on Ethereum by being very, very similar to what Ethereum currently is. So yes, that's what they're about right now.
Nice. And then Aleo, I know they're ZK. One thing I do know about them, they had David Blaine, the magician. I don't know do you know David Blaine?
David, no.
He's like a street musician. He's like a magician. And he's like super famous, and they had him actually at Dev Connect at their event, and I couldn't believe it. I wasn't there, unfortunately, but I saw pictures, so he was definitely there. So that's a one claim to fame. So now we will see who we go on a date with here. So we're spinning.
Let's go.
Oh, we're slowing down. Oh, wow.
Let's go.
Even though the logo is blanked out, but zero dev is the winner.
Zero dev for the win.
Okay.
All right, so here we are, at the Zero Dev website, and we'll be going over the documentation. So I particularly want to build something, an Expo React Native mobile app, because I have been playing and building mobile apps for the better part of the last couple weeks. With Zero Dev, it seems like they're doing a lot of account abstraction stuff. What I'm looking at is having a button that allows a user to create an account, and then once that account has been created, the user wallet is displayed on screen. So these are like ideas that I have, because I still need to delve into the documentation and figure out if all of this is possible.
All right, some updates. So it's been taking me a lot longer than I would like to get it working with React Native. I keep getting these weird errors. I'll build what I'm trying to build on top of Next.js based off of debugging ChatGPT. It has something to do with certain dependencies that aren't supported with React Native. But skill issue really. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to recreate everything I'm trying to do on React Native on a Next.js app and see how that works. Right. So it turns out with zero dev, you need to it has this really interesting feature where you could like set different parameters for how you want to sponsor gas, how much of it you want to sponsor, and so on and so forth. So what happened was I had to, again, read the documentation. So I would say, yes, docs were actually really helpful. So what happened was I had to take a minute, go over that, set up the project policies, the parameters, and then ran the code, and it worked fine. So everything in the code as to what I'm trying to achieve functions properly on the Next.js app. So, and it's all bare bones, right? Everything is like, printing out the results on the console. Everything is bare bones. I'm going to spend a few more minutes trying to get everything to come into the user interface so the user actually sees that interaction. Because some of it is generating a transaction hash to read the transaction hash. So we're going to do that. And once I'm done with that, I'll try to see if I can actually get it to function on a React Native mobile app.
Well, okay. Well, welcome back to Builders Blind Date. I say welcome back because a week ago, Yinka and I were together and we spun. I was going to say roll. We spun a wheel with what was it? Three protocols.
Three protocols.
Okay, yes. We will let the gods decide on what we're going to spend a week building, and we landed on zero dev. So we actually have a guest here now because the whole idea of this show was that we're going to build something impressive. And I mean, anything I make is impressive to me. And Olenka, I'm sure you're the same. So we
Likewise.
need to have like we need to have like an external person come judge us. And this is why we brought Zoe along. Hello, Zoe. Welcome to Builders Blind Date.
Hi, I'm not gonna lie, guys. I'm a tough sell, so I'm really looking forward to what you built in a week. But yeah, happy to be here, and may the odds be in both your favor.
Oh, they shall. So Zoe, I want to say this. You're probably one of the type of people that, like, I go to their Twitter profile and I'm like, I don't know, understand how this person does so many things. But if you could sum up, let's say you're on a blind date, what would you say you do?
A blind date. I've actually never been on a blind date before. This is my first blind date. I would say that, a wearer of multiple hats, so not just a dev, but I'm a brand marketer by trade, diversity and inclusion advocate, so founder of Crypto Girls Club, which is the largest women in Web3 sort of movement or collective in Europe. I work for a Solana dev agency called Builders, building, NFT projects and platforms, and yeah. What else do I do? Win hackathons sometimes as a brand expert. So I have some judging expertise on the side and gonna use that.
Like I said, so many things, but that's very impressive. I just make YouTube videos, I guess, now. So that's all right. So
it takes me like a long time to make a YouTube video. So yeah, I in a blind date that would impress me.
All right. Perfect. Already got some points on the board. So Olelinka, this is your chance to get some points on the board. So we worked with zero dev. We spent all week. What would you say zero dev is? How would you explain it to Zoe or to anyone really?
Yeah, zero dev from my time working with it, which was rather interesting. It's solving a lot of the issues. It's providing tooling for devs to solve a lot of the issues we have with the current Web3 landscape as to how accounts are created and how transactions are run, and being able to sponsor those and abstract those away from the user. And that is managed by whoever builds a smart contract, for example, or a protocol entirely. And the user doesn't have to bother about how much gas is, how much they need to figure out to pay for gas. They just need to execute a transaction and interact with the protocol, interact with the DApp or whatever it is, and have a good time. And, they don't need to stress about any of that.
Yeah, since you're the guest here, who goes first? We're going to do a demo. Maybe we'll explain, we'll wow you with some code. Demo first, and then maybe even tell some stories about how we got there. But
yeah, Dan, you go first. You just knock yourself
we're giving
out.
Zoe the chance. We're giving Zoe the chance to decide. So who would you like to go first?
Okay, who's oldest?
Well,
but I don't want to answer that question because what does that mean? Who is the oldest going first?
I mean, we're not saying the,
Do
the
I need to
oldest
get
and
the
best
wheel
thing.
back out? Do I need to spin the wheel
Who's the
again?
youngest?
Just for two people.
When did you when did you buy Bitcoin?
Okay, I'm going first.
No, Ying is going first.
Okay, you can go ahead.
No. I'll have you know that regardless of the technical difficulties I'm currently experiencing, it does not negate the fact that what I have is pretty cool. So I'll ask that you be patient, all right? And allow me to figure this out, and then we'll move on.
Asking for a
So,
lot on our
give me
blind
a
date. You're asking
few.
for a lot there. Patience, but
Yeah, it's a lot of commit. I mean,
Give me
like,
a time.
you're gonna come into this, you have to like, get yourself into making some commitment at
You're good
least.
at small talk. You're good at small talk. Why you
Okay,
cover
so
this all up? I have to say that's like an extra point in my head, like tick. So I'm already impressed. So it's fine. Good with
so
small
that's
talk.
exactly, Dan, you need to be taking
I
notes. Are
am
you
taking
taking notes?
mental notes. It's all up here.
No?
Don't worry.
Come on, man. Like, come on, this doesn't happen all the time. You need to be sure this is free game, my guy.
I mean, my time is precious as well. So
So
I mean, I
let's
might
see.
start invoicing you the hours that you've wasted.
Oh yeah, and I do completely understand that, and I'm super
Thank you.
grateful for your patience. So
Thank you. I mean, I'm very expensive, so
let's
you gotta pay
see.
the bill now. So
That is no problem.
okay,
I'm
then
more than
take as
capable.
long as you want.
What a flex. I'm not gonna make these type of promises.
Simple button, hello world, and a simple button that creates an account and then executes the transaction. So I'm just going to run that, and everything will be logged in the console, and then we'll also see like the wallet address and the transaction hashes, and we can query all of that on the blockchain. Are you ready? Are you ready for this? I can. Dan, why you're
Yeah,
quiet?
I
Are
was
you
about
scared
to say, I
already?
was like
No, no,
this,
come on, man.
this awkward silence.
All right, so hey, Def,
Maybe
no,
that's
no, no, we're not
the
like,
build.
we need to. That's not what this
Oh
is
my.
about. Dan's name should be there though, not mine. We could start with Dan's name. Create account says loading, ridiculously intuitive user experience, and then we get the user account, as you can
And then
see
you close
here.
the tab with an N, and then
Um,
you're like, no.
and we're executing the transaction right now. And we're gonna get the transaction hash
Yeah,
logged on the console,
please.
also displayed to the
Stop running on the
user,
treadmill. Like,
and user up hash. Now, this again, all of this was done in a single click. If we were to emulate this in a typical Web3 setup as we know it today, we are talking about creating a MetaMask account or Rainbow or whichever one you fancy, storing your mnemonic, your private keys, and managing everything. If we were to execute a transaction, you
very
need to get
functional.
ETH from a friend, from a centralized exchange or whatever, and you need to approve every single transaction you execute. But if we take this and we head over to um, scan,
But you aren't
move by
actually looking at
scan, that
anything, right?
is.
Okay. So yeah, it's all
And we
good.
head over here because it's
Why did
all
we just
based on the
started
Polygon
making it up
testnet,
and
right?
pretending we could all see it?
And we paste the transaction hash. We can
Like,
see that this was
it's
executed a minute
beautiful.
ago, right? Which in fact is proof that it is the our project,
Yeah.
our application that executed that transaction. And if we copy the wallet address, which is what we have here, we can also see that
How
that
many tabs
wallet
do you
was
have open
created
now?
recently and it also executed this
I have
internal
about 60.
transaction, which is to create
Yeah,
a
what kind of
contract,
tab? It's not about
right?
how
So this
many,
was
it's
also
what
done
kind of
1 minute
tabs you
ago.
have.
So in a single
That's
click
that's what I
of
want to
this
know.
simple revolutionary piece of software I built with the Zero Dev
It's not
SDK,
about the size of
we've
the
been able to
tabs,
create a
it's the
user account,
quality.
execute transactions, and going over the documentation, we could pull up the mnemonic, so we could query that at any point in time and have that stored to the user and have that stored for the user rather. If it was a mobile app, we could store that like on the iCloud chain so the user can, query that at any point in time. And yes, again, gasless transactions just mean like when we've built a bit more sophisticated software like minting an NFT, we're able to do all of that and sponsor gas to the user and they don't need to do anything. I mean, think of like Zero Dev X Farcaster frames where you've built an NFT minting platform and you sponsor gas to your users and all they need to do is a single click on the Fatcaster frame and it makes the NFT and it displays the NFT as another frame. And so I think that's one of the cool things about this. And thank you very much for taking the time to go over my revolutionary piece of software. It's been fun. I'm sure you have insane ideas of really cool things you can build, and I understand that. I thought the same too. And yeah, this has been fun. Thank you for this. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to present. And over to you, judges, and Dan, who is already salty at this point. I think Dan,
I
you
need
still
some
have
water. I am so
some
salty.
time.
Oof.
Exactly, right? You still have some time if you want to reconsider,
Yeah, I need to start hacking again.
All
Zoe,
right,
thoughts,
so
questions?
Yeah, I'm literally speechless. Like I'm blown away. No, I think
yeah, I know.
the path to mass adoption is a murky one, and I definitely appreciate the gasless transactions, and there's a lot that zero dev can do to facilitate that. I do have a question regarding how would you package this? How would you make this an actual product? Because we just saw like the bare bones of how this would work, but where do you see this going in the next 10 years?
Oh yeah, that's a good question. I have that all planned out. So the goal is to build an actual React Native mobile app. Again, intuitive user experiences where we're going to have like an on-device wallet. So create wallets into that. And then we're going to have platforms where users can execute transactions gaslessly on chain. And so it's going to act like, a more refined version of MetaMask or Rainbow that helps with account creation and account transactions and everything in between. So yes, at like bare bones and right off the bat, it solves the problem of creating an account and user storage and everything in between. And then in the future, who knows? Who knows? Who knows?
Are you
Who
ready?
knows?
So, I mean, I know I'm pretending that I wasn't there, but I heard that you were interested in, what the 10 years might look like. But we're going to focus on the 10 minutes here because we have an app for you. And by we, I mean just me. I made this myself. So, are you ready to make magic together? That's my question before I.
That's a question, or
That's a
I
question.
mean,
That's
hell
a
yes,
question.
always.
All right. So that's the reason I asked is because not only did I work with Zero Dev on this project, I also worked with Magic, which was also the first time I worked with Magic, and not Magic like with magicians, but this like login provider essentially that allows people to log in either with your email or your SMS or Google, whatever. So this is a blind date, so I'm not gonna ask you for your number. That's really forward, but I am
And
gonna write my
Instagram is
email
fine.
here so that yeah, the Instagram. So I'm gonna write my lovely email here, and this is this
what
font
is
here
that? I
because
was sorry. I'll let you go.
it's like it's a Valentine. Oh no, go, this is a two-way
Well, I mean,
conversation
I'm
here.
kind of like it's
So it doesn't make sense on this page, but look, when you log in, so I'm gonna log in with my email here, nothing else. This might send me an email, so now it's gonna be this like password thing. Sometimes it's automatically logged in, but it's nice. So let me. I'm gonna open up another
no,
window here. Okay, so I got my one-time password, and let's say I send it to you. So this is your email that you got. So you got a little password for me. Yeah, 999. Okay, this is one-time thing, so no one's gonna take it. So now, why this crazy font? Oh, yeah, because this is Valentine's Day, even though it's not, because we had to reschedule. But let's say now I want to mint you a nice little gift, right? Maybe, you described you're a crypto expert, but some people, aren't. And I want to give you a gift just to like, crypto pill you into this world of blockchain. So I'm going to let me do it for you, mint you an NFT via Magic and Zero Dev. The way I'm going to do this, and this works 85% of the time the first time, so we will see if this works. All you have to do is click this mint your gift, babe button. So I'm going to do that for you now. I'm gonna have to wait and see if this is the console here is it's okay. So I think this should be working. So boom, transaction successful, right? And look, this is my little secret spot here, just for me, but it has room for many, maybe two. Is that so? One, we have the magic login, so the address, so basically what was doing by email. Then we have this smart contract account, which is the thing that we've set up in Zero Dev to run and sponsor all these transactions. And your balance, right, is zero. And so you have zero magic or zero matic in your magic wallet, and in the smart contract account, there's zero matic as well. But we just minted an NFT for free, basically. So this may or may not work, and if it doesn't work, then I will definitely show you. But I tried to do this thing where I was going to show the NFT, and for some reason the OpenSea API is a bit wonky sometimes. But if this loads, it loads. But if it doesn't load, which it doesn't look like it's going to do right now, it takes some time. If I go to OpenSea, right, go to my account. Where's my accounts in this OpenSea world? Boom! Oh my! Look at these cards. Just minted. This lovely card. Let me refresh this. So, look at that.
Wow.
Valentine's Day cards via blockchain.
It's something. This art. My eyes are blurred.
I rest my case.
No, it's cute.
All right. So there was my demo, and now it's the time.
I got to.
Moment.
Who gets to stay on the show?
Who rizzed you up the most,
um,
Zoe? Like, who rizzed you up the most? That's
the
what
bounty
we're about.
today.
And, I have to say,
Go ahead.
though, because Dan had a one-up me, to be honest. Like, Dan knew what was happening. Like,
Yeah.
he knew you were going to be here.
That's not an excuse.
And he set up, like, love emojis, all of
No.
that. I mean,
You know what they say?
so
Although
I just
don't hate the
fair,
player, hate the game. Okay.
Number one, I gave you a
I
spoiler.
agree.
So
I can't
you
even.
did know. You did know. I tweeted. I gave you a spoiler. So if you don't get my love hints, you don't get my love language, which is tweeting, then sorry, it's not going to work. Number two,
Oh my.
Number two, you
Wow, so I have to figure out.
I know you were stalking my profile.
love
I know
hints,
you were
but
looking at my
Dan
pictures,
gets-
and you could tell that I was a brand marketer. Like, I know you were stalking me, and it says marketer. My Twitter bio says Web3 marketer, so I'm obsessed with it. The
Amongst
number one
80
thing
other
is
things, but it
Web3
does say
marketer.
that.
Do you know what that
I
means?
can definitely say.
I love colors. I love pictures. I love hearts. I love brands, and I'm sorry. That is why, Dan, you won.
Thank you. I've won the ultimate bounty. Obviously, your heart. This is the best hackathon I've ever participated in. Yinka, do you have any words to maybe redeem yourself for a little bit, other than the excuses?
No. I'm a good sportsman, so I'd like to say it's been a pleasure to compete against you, Dan. Even though enough said, but it's been a pleasure. It was also a pleasure to take you out on a Valentine's Day, Zoe. I hope at some point, even though we're still in the early stages of the revolutionary piece of software we're building, at some point when we're unicorn, we could hang out and.
Look, Yinka, I think you just need a few years to work on yourself. Like, the foundation's there, and you're a great guy. But I would just say, give it a few years, go to a Buddhist retreat, build, become a unicorn, and then we can talk.
Yeah,
okay? It's not a no.
Yeah, it's just a time for me to focus on myself. It's just a time to grind. I guess everyone, there are times and seasons to these things. Perhaps it just wasn't a good fit, and I respect that. I respect that.
Rough times. All right. Well, maybe the next blind date you can redeem yourself even further on your dev skills, and not just your. All right, and then I'm ending the recording.
I didn't know.